What up? This is Ramashkin covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Peacock's new series, The Calling. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this! First up, I would like to say thank you to Peacock streaming service for granting me the screeners to this entire new show. They've asked me to not spill spoilers, therefore this review is spoiler free. I repeat, there are no spoilers in this video review. You know how some movies or some TV shows are a slow burn, but if you stick it out, your patience will be rewarded? Well, The Calling is one of those perfect examples. Look, the first few episodes of this show might lose you just a little bit. You might be rightly wondering, who is this Avraham fella? And why is he solving crimes using his Judaic spiritualism? I get it, it might come off weird and bizarre at first because he's not the kind of protagonist you're used to in terms of detective shows. But trust me when I say that The Calling gets more and more compelling and more interesting with every passing episode. What you need to understand is that The Calling is kind of like a throwback to old cop shows like NYPD Blue or The Closer, in which you make or break a case inside the interrogation room where personal interactions trump CSI gadgetry. Now, what makes Avraham unique is that his religious faith factors into his instincts and deducing skills, and it's not a gimmick in any shape or form, and it's brilliantly scripted by David E. Kelley, who meticulously molds this magnetic and consequential character study. Based on Dror Mashani's book, written and executive produced and showrun by David E. Kelley, The Calling tells the story of NYPD Detective Avraham Avraham, whose belief in mankind is his superpower when it comes to uncovering the truth. Guided by a deep sense of spirituality and religious principles, Avraham is left to question his own humanity when a seemingly routine investigation turns upside down. Starring Jeff Wilbush, Juliana Canfield, Karen Robinson, and Michael Mosley. Directed and executive produced by Barry Levinson. So, there are a total of 8 episodes in this first season. I'm not gonna tell you the mysteries that Detective Avraham and his partners work on. You'll have to find those out for yourselves. But I tell you this show is both a long-form story and procedural simultaneously. Episodes 1 through 4 are one case, and episodes 5 through 8 are a whole other case, which makes this type of storytelling very refreshing. Because the banters, the confrontations, and the psychoanalysis take time, but they don't take too long a time either. And I love how the mysteries don't keep you on the outside looking in, but rather invites you to rack your brains trying to solve it. Now, this whole concept is based on the creation by a very popular Israeli author, Dror Mashani. I personally have never read any of his books, though I'm told that criminal stories are his forte. The infusion of Jewish practices and Jewish beliefs in Detective Avraham definitely separates this character from the rest in this genre, and the music by co-composers Steve Mazzaro and Hans Zimmer gives off that orthodoxy sounds that are melancholy and gripping. What is interesting is that, with the exception of his new partner, all his other colleagues in the police department have pretty much fully accepted his unconventional methods and intuitions. Avraham is calm and mild-mannered, but gets irritated when he's pushed about his religion. Avraham sees the good in people, but he doesn't let that blind him from suspecting the bad in them as well. The actor who plays him is an actual conservative Jew in real life, Jeff Wilbush. You may not recognize him because he's pretty fresh to the scene. He's pretty fresh in this business. He always has that look on his face that makes you wonder if he's examining you, or if he's making judgments about you, or if he's just playing the part of a reasonable cop. Yet all of that is part of his intriguing appeal. This show's twists and turns are jaw-dropping, and they get to some pretty dark places. And at the end of each, Avraham tries to make sense of it through the lens of his faith. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In many ways, The Calling is very old school. It looks and moves and feels like a cop show from bygone era. But when the wheels start to turn, and when Avram's philosophies start to help connect the dots, the calling becomes more and more irresistible and riveting. The calling may not find its footing right away, but if you stay with it, I think you'll find this to be one of the most tantalizing detective shows you'll see this year.